Well, like I started telling you people my story. I grew up I'm a Nigerian, grew up in Nigeria from a small village of 40 huts, 40 little houses, maybe 45 really. But it doesn't really matter, maybe 42. The last I counted was 42. But, no big difference, just a village, you see. And that village, most of us were poor. And so each time we see people who are rich, we are always thinking, I personally was always thinking, life is not fair to me. And life is not fair in general. And not just life is not fair. Let me give you a revelation. My thought was even God himself was not fair. Because I was thinking, if God had seen the way things are in this country for real, he should know that people like a few names, Dangote and other people, Dan Tata and all those people, they have all this money. They have more than they could ever need. They have more than they could ever need. I mean, they've got many houses and they've got many cars. And how many houses would somebody live in his lifetime? How many cars will someone ever need in his lifetime? So these people, do you want to tell me God doesn't see all that? If God sees this, and he's closing his eyes at distance, then God himself is not fair. What God, because I was thinking, I knew exactly what God was supposed to do. That was my thought. That was my thinking. I thought I was able to figure it out. I figured it out a long time before God could figure it out. And the answer? My thought was God should know better. God was just supposed to go to those people who are having too much money and tell them, you guys, you know what? You see all those guys in that village who don't have too much money? Go give them some of their money and let them also have some money. Let them enjoy some money. That's what I was thinking when I was growing up in Nigeria. Well, I lived in that country for 19 years, 19 good years. You think anything happened of such? Do you think anything of such happened? Do you think anybody who was rich decided to empty their pocket and bring the rest of the money to my village to come and seek for me and give it to me? Is that what you think God did? God never answered that prayer for sure. Those people didn't say they didn't bring any money to my village. And instead of them to get poor, that I was thinking they were supposed to be made poor a little bit, and so that the money could be shared among us, the peasants, the ordinary strugglers in the country. Well, that never happened. And I was thinking, well, either God is not fair or, something is just wrong in this world. This world is not fair. God is not fair. And I'm sure that so many of you are thinking the same. Have you ever thought of the Rockefellers? Have you ever considered the fact that they have too much money than they actually needed? It has been passed from generation to generation. Have we ever thought of the Morgans? Have we ever thought of the Bill Gates? Have we ever thought of other people that are rich and wealthy that will never be able to spend their money in a lifetime? Maybe if you are like me, you must have probably considered the fact that why don't they take some of those money to Africa? And why can't they take some of those money to the poor people in down in the hood in America? To the poor people. Why can't they just do that? I mean, that's supposed to be more Christian-like. Well. I never knew what I know now, that time. And if you are still thinking like that some people should bring you money, well, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen. And I'm afraid the thing that might happen might just be the opposite. The opposite might just happen. You know what the opposite is? Instead of them bringing their money to you, they who have too much money, instead of them bringing their money to you, the opposite that might happen is you with your little money, you might end up losing those little money you have. Even the little you have will be going to the rich guys. And especially people in the world right now, the real rich people in the world are people like the owners of Apple, Steve Jobs, Apple company. And do you know that all the rich people in the world are dreaming of owning an iPad or an iPhone? They don't have money. They are using their last money to buy an iPhone. You know what that means? That means the very last money they have is leaving their pocket. And you know, guess where it's going? Guess where it's going? It's leaving their pocket and going to the hands of Apple company that already has too much money. So how is that fair? How does that happen? Well, that's exactly the principle. You that think you don't have money, that is not fair, that people are supposed to be giving you money, even if they give you all the money that you need today, by tomorrow, all that money will have left your pocket and they will have gone back to the people that gave them to you. You know how that happens? I know how that happens. Because let's say somebody brings to you $100,000 today. I know exactly what you are going to do with that. I know exactly what, not just you, what 98% of people in this world are going to do with that money. I mean, if they give you $100,000 today, you are going to say, yes, thank you, Jesus. Number one, I'm going to buy a house. That costs $30,000 or $50,000. You know who sell houses? Those are the people who own money, because if the people who sell houses are people who already built houses. So there are people who already have money. So 50% of your money of $100,000, boom, it has just gone back to the hand of the people who are rich. So you have just lost $50,000 right there, just because you have been dreaming of having a house. Then I know the next thing you're going to do, you're going to say, I need a car. I'm not just going to buy some Opel or anything. I'm going to buy a good car for myself. And you are not going to get a Ford as well. I know you. I know you. You're going to get an average one, at least Toyota or something like that. You know, Toyota is not one of the poor people in the world, poor companies. They are the already rich people. And so out of the 50,000 you are left with, you are giving 20,000 or 30,000 to go and buy a Toyota. So out of 100,000 now, you are left with just about 20 or 30,000. You are returning the money they just gave you back to the people who already had the money. You know what we are talking about is that why does God take money from those people who don't have or who have little and give to the ones who already had many? It is not even God. This is not God's business at all. It is you yourself who is you are going to surrender it without even knowing. You are going to do that every minute. Even if they give you $1 million right now, in the next month, I give you 2 weeks. By the next of 2 weeks, by the end of 2 weeks, half of that money will be back in the hand of the people they collected it for to give to you. Why? Because poor people are always dreaming of having what the rich people have. And because they are always dreaming of having what the rich people have, and they want to live big like the rich people, and they want to live large like the rich people, any amount of money that comes to their hand, even if that's the last dollar, and if that is their last money, and it's large enough for them to be able to buy or afford something that they have been dreaming of, they quickly take all that money and go and take it and give it to the store owner. The store owner is a rich person whose money we just collected to give to you, and now you are taking it back to him and say, okay, give me that car or give me that house. And after you buy the house, I know exactly what you're going to do. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to ask for a telephone, iPhone. You know who is the owner of iPhone? The producer of iPhone? That's Apple. You were just talking about why would God keep on giving money to Apple? It's not God. God doesn't even have anything to do with it. It is poor people from all over the world who are giving their lives to work 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours every day. And the last money they have, salary they have, they are the ones using their own 2 legs and going to trek and going to look. In fact, Apple will just sit down in America, doesn't even know there is a village like Idomela anywhere in the world. But the Idomela people are the ones going to be looking for Apple company and Apple product. You know the reason why? Because the people who have money, they already know how money works. They know the loss of money, and they don't need to, they don't even need to come and rob you. They don't need to come and convince you to give your money out. You are the one who are going to give your own money out of your own free accord, because you are dreaming of having what they have. You are dreaming of, buying what you saw on TV. You are dreaming of buying what you have been advertised to you. You have not learned the law of money that says money is not to be spent. That is the first law of money. Money must never be spent. But you've not learned that lesson. And so any amount of money that must have been taken or would have been taken from the hand of the rich to give to the poor, the very next day, that same poor will use his own 2 legs to trek back, to even go and look for apple shop and take the apple and, and give all the money you just gave to him back to the Apple company. And of course, you know that Apple is making profit. You get the machine or you get the gadget, but all the money leaves your hand and goes there. And then later on, when the thing is broken or is stolen, you are without money again. You are back in square one. That is why God is not a socialist. That is why God is not a revolutionist. That is why God is not a communist. What does that mean, God is not a communist? Well, I live in a communist world, so I know very well what socialist and communism means. Because socialists and communist people, they are the ones who believe, like Robin Hood, that once they come to power, they will distribute wealth. The other day, somebody from my country was saying, our president Buhari is not performing well. I said, what was the problem? He said, we were expecting him. I voted for him. Now he has disappointed me. So what did he do? He said, we thought he was going to fight corruption. So how does Julie fight corruption? Is he not doing enough? I thought he's done more than we have ever done before. He said, no, what he was supposed to do is to just go and take the first 100, the richest 100 people in Nigeria, and just confiscate all the things they have. So then what will happen? He should just give to, look at the masses. Look at the masses, how masses are suffering. Can't you see the masses suffering? So what should he do with it? He should just give to the masses. Even if they give $200 each to every Nigerian, that is enough for some people. Okay, I say, okay, let them not give $200. Let them give you masses $2 million. $2 million. I said, by the end of the year, I give you just 1 year, or you and all your masses. By the end of the year, all that money would have left the hand of the masses, and it would have gone back to the hand of the Dangote, because the guy was really angry at that. It's a man in Nigeria they call Dangote. And this Dangote is the richest guy in Africa and richest man in Nigeria. So some people are thinking it's not fair, it's an Hausa man or all that. The money should be taken away from him and given to the poor. I said, Dangote, I said the reason why that man has the money is because he knows something that the poor man doesn't know. It's not about the money. It's not about the quantity or the size of wealth or money. It is what the person knows in mind. So because these rich people, they still know what they know, even though you have taken the wealth from them physically, but they still know what they know. They still know the laws. They will just keep on applying the laws, and the money will be leaving the pocket of the poor. The guy that doesn't know the law, he'll just be leaving in his pocket and be going back to the hand of the people you took them from originally. If you have been watching our videos and maybe you enjoy them, maybe you don't enjoy them, but still we need you to help us spread the word. And for that to happen, we only need you to take 5 little steps. Please help us spread this word by liking the video. Then if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We also need you to press the notification button, and the way to do that is to click on the bell. You see the bell there? Click on it. Then, of course, leave your comments. Let's know what you're thinking about each video. And finally, we need you to go and share the word. Share this video on your Facebook timeline, on your Instagram, and every other platform that you have. All right? Let's win the world for Christ. Thank you so much.